Good morning, Tom Beal here. Finishing up my morning walk this morning. Sunrise behind me. Let's see if we can see that. So I walked to the beach a couple miles that way. The sun's coming up behind me back home. But I watched the amazing interview and podcast that we completed yesterday, Burgers with Eric, Steve, and myself. And I'm gonna fact check me on two things. I watched it and there were two things I wanted to clarify. One, the event with the Mankini had approximately 500 people in attendance with it was a very high level crowd. There was a much higher percentage of millionaires in the audience than at a normal event, but there were not 500 millionaires in the audience. So it was a roughly 500 person event with a higher than normal percentage of high level attendees in attendance, but it wasn't a room full of 500 millionaires. That's fact check number one that I caught myself. And fact check number two was when I gave the 3-day Apple fast. I hadn't explained it in a while, and I noticed that I messed up one of the key aspects, which is at the end, the 3 tablespoons of olive oil. So let's say today is Friday. So if I wanted to start my fast, I'd eat normally up until this evening, and then I would start Saturday, Sunday, and Monday would be my 3 days. On the evening of the third day, I would ingest 3 tablespoons of olive oil and then break the fast on the morning of the fourth day, if that makes sense. So I'll post a link to that resource. It's Edgar Casey, who I first learned that from years ago. Edgar Casey's known as the Sleeping Prophet, and he would, back in the days before telephones, he would receive letters from people that had terminal illnesses, and he would tell them, before I can cure your terminal illness with the steps that I'll describe here, the first thing that you must do is detoxify your body with a 3-day apple cleanse. And so I'll post that link here. That's where I got the insights of the 3-day apple fast back when I was in the Marine Corps, almost 30 years ago, 29 years ago, after I was already a Marine. And in the field, I would read Edgar Casey books, and that's where I stumbled across that insight, and have been using the 3-day apple fast technique since the early 90s, and it's absolutely transformational. All right, enjoy the podcast. I had a blast. I'm gonna watch it again because it was just fun, and I look forward to part 2. I'd love to hear your feedback. What resonated with you most? What was the thing that you felt was that aha moment for you that made the big impact? I'd love to hear from you as to what that was, and until next time, make today great. Talk with you soon.